Hello, and today we're going to be solving some LeetCode problems. So what I'm going to do is basically make some videos about me doing some of these problems, and you guys going to hear my thinking and my what I do wrong, what I do right, and you're going to watch me try to solve these problems. So I did two already, so let's start with this one, number 3, the longest substring without repeating characters. So it says, given a string, find the length of the longest substring without repeating characters. Like, okay. So we got A, B, C, A, B, C, B, B. Output is 3. And the answer is A, B, C with a length of 3. Okay. Input B, 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 B. Output is 1. The answer is B with a length of 1. And P, W, K, E, W length output 3. And the answer is WKE with a length of 3. Note that the answer must be a substring. PWKE is a subsequence, not a substring. Okay, so originally what I thought is just, okay, you're just going to count the different characters in the string, and that would be the length. But apparently that could be a subsequence, and we need to make sure there's a substring. So we got to figure this out. So I'm going to be doing this in C++, but you know, this works for any language. And let's see here, I'm going to create a string. Longest substring. Okay, so I'm creating an empty string here. I'm going to do a for loop. And I'm going to have an integer I equals 0. I is less than s dot length I plus plus. So basically here, I'm going to be looping through all the characters of the string. What do I want to do? Check if the character at I is in the longest sub. So I want to check that first. And I think there's a function, I forgot the function called. Check if character is in string. C++. What's the function for this? The iterators, capacity, another for string operations, maybe find content in string. This might be it. Basically, I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it here. Okay. So, what do we get here? This is our string that find. We do s at the I. So returns longest substring the length, because essentially we just want to get the length of the longest substring. So we just return the length. And I forgot this is a function, not a member variable. So when I run it and I'll explain what's happening here. We're looping through the string, and for every character we're going to use this find method to essentially find if the character is already in the longest substring. And that's going to return the index of where is the first found character. If the character is already in the string, the longest substring, we're just going to print out it's found at and whatever found is. And if it's not there, I just want to see out s at the I is not in substring. And run code. Let me just see if this works. Okay, so we're seeing like we're looping through the string, and we see that A is not a substring, B is not a substring. Okay, so all these characters are not yet in the longest substring. Well, basically because we haven't added to the substring. So I'm just gonna put longest substring plus equals s at the ith element. So if the character we add is not in the longest substring, we are adding it to the longest substring. Okay, so let's look here. We got A. A is not a substring, so we're adding it. B is not a substring, so we're adding it, and we're adding C. And now we're looking at A again. A is an added substring because it's at the 0 index, and we see B, we see C, and B again, and these are the index of where it is in the longest substring. Okay, so this works for this test case, but we also need to make sure it works for example 3, where we gotta make sure it's not a subsequence, it's actually a substring. So what are we gonna do here? So we got one substring, and then we see a W again. So that means that there's a repeating character, and as it's so far, PW is the longest substring. So we have that. We're gonna have that saved, and we're gonna be checking the next ones. W, K, E, W. We have that substring, and now we're gonna compare it. I'm making another variables, and I'm just gonna call this substring. Instead of adding to the longest substring, I'm going to be adding to the substring variable. If you found a character, I'm going to see if substring dot length is greater than longest substring dot length, then what I'm going to be doing here is going to be switching them. So longest substring equals substring equals that. We need to change these methods because no longer are we looking to find in the longest substring, we're looking to find in the substring. That should be it. Okay, it's judging me. Okay, so it works for this one. Let's submit it. Let's see how well it does. Wrong answer. Why am I getting the wrong answer? Output is 2, expected is 3. So instead of actually adding it to making substring an empty string, I'm going to make it to whatever character we're looking at currently. So if I submit it, that should be the right answer. Okay, input, we got an empty string. Output is 0, but I'm expecting a 1. We loop through that. Okay, so we're seeing that it's not a substring. Substring plus equals. Okay, so if we get a substring, right, if we get an input that's only 1 character long, naturally it's not going to be in the substring because that's empty. So it's only going to run this piece of code. It's only going to run an else statement. And we're adding to the substring, so that's good. But now, this is not the longest substring now. We haven't added anything to it. We haven't set anything to it. So the length is 0. This is why we're getting output of 0. So we have here, we're checking if the lengths are different. Question is, should I be doing this outside of this if statement? So let's see here. If we do p, w, and w, we have found. So I'm just going to comment this out right here. And let's fix this. If the character we're looking at is not already in our substring, then we're just going to say substring plus equals the string at the ith position. I feel the simplest thing we're going to do is just to do a little checking here. If substring.length is greater than longest substring.length, in that case we just want to replace it. Longest substring equals substring. Okay, so now it should be good. Output is 2, expected is 3. So let's work this out. So beginning at D is not in it, so we're going to add it to substring. So it now has D, cout statement cout, substring cout, replacing longest substring, and let's see what we get here. Substring is D, dv. Okay, longest substring now is dv, and our substring is D, and then df. So we're almost there. I feel like we're almost there. We're just missing like a little logic thing. Because essentially I'm starting the new substring at that character, at the repeated character. So it worked for the other string with the P and a W, but it's not gonna work for this substring. But we need to make another substring of this one. Alright, so this is what I'm gonna do. Instead of starting the new substring from D, I want to start it wherever the last duplicate character is. So for example, is D a duplicate character, so I want to start it from V and ignore D. So I want to ignore all the characters until that duplicate character. We're going to have substring equals substring dot substr, and we want it from found until substring dot length -1. And we might be getting an error from this, but we'll see how this goes. So running code. Okay, so let's see if this works. Please let it work. Okay, what's going on here? So longest substring is now going to be A. Okay, but it should be here. Why are we doing this? So let me see here. This works with this over here. So A, AB, ABC, and then okay, this is not right. I needed this to be BCA, not AB. This is just supposed to be, I think that would be better. Not yet. So I'm still like one off. So what's going on here? EPN, okay. Longest substring. J, P, P, N, B. Still not getting that. We found +1. Okay, and submitting. So same thing with the other thing. What's going on here? Didn't want to get the substring. Let me just see what I'm getting. The index. We see substring 0, we found it at the character 0, so substring is now B, C. So let me just submit it so I can see what's happening here. Longest substring, we found it at position 0. Longest substring is now A, and substring I want it to be A. I want to be that character. The length of the substring, in that case, is just 1. Okay, so that's not gonna work because no index is there. What would happen if I added this? Added it and then remove it. Let's see, let's run code. Let's see what happens. That might be what I needed. Okay, and submitting. Look at all my wrong answers. So what's happening here? We got J, JB, JBP, JPN. Now we have a B. Substring is JPB and okay. And now we want to get P and B. That's wrong here. We're getting 2 numbers. If found equals that precision, we might just okay. So that's not good. Longest substring equals this one. I think this one just needs to go up here. And now let me just run it here to see if it works. I think this is gonna work. That makes sense. Now we're submitting. Oh, come on. Okay. You guys are probably looking like saying you know the answer already, like I'm blind or something. Okay, this is good. So now we find something at the first position. Okay. Now replacing the longest. Oh, maybe I should just replace it first. Maybe I should check that first. And then we do the switch stuff. Okay, and now come on, submitting. Let's do this. This is gonna be it. I know it. I know it. Yes, alright, so let's see our stats. So one time is 108 milliseconds, only 14% faster. Oh yeah, so this is not really that good. Online submissions, okay. Memory usage 20 megabytes, less than 12%. So we can make this faster, but I'll probably do that in a later video. So yeah, so I'm just gonna be doing LeetCode problems and making videos and showing my thought process of solving them. There's probably a way better way. Well, of course there is a way better way because I'm only less than 14% faster. But yeah, if there's any questions you guys want me to do, just post a comment down below with the link to it. Definitely make a video about it. I'm new to this YouTube thing, so if you guys have any suggestions on how to make it better, like better audio, music, or better editing, yeah, just let me know and we'll see how this goes. Alright, so until next time, bye bye.